It's working. Here we are.
It says we're live.
Ted, you're live on social media this morning. I'm so proud of you.
That's scary.
No, it's not. Over the years, I feel like you've allowed me to bring you down new paths of all kinds of technology. So,
Yeah, that's right. It's never too old to teach a dinosaur new tricks.
no, you just got to trust this little dinosaur. I feel like I'm a dinosaur now.
Just hit that button and have fun.
And just pray. That's all I do. If I learn nothing else in COVID is how to pray better. Like that. So
That's right.
how can that be bad? Yeah.
I love my computer. I love my computer.
Yeah. Please, Lord, make it work
Yeah,
so good today. Yeah.
let it work.
Yeah. I love that. Well, we're just going to give people a moment to join us. So this is the part where we stall. But are you a coffee drinker?
Oh,
Is it the fruit of the God? Who's on your cup?
I've got the large one with the granddaughters on it.
Oh my gosh. What a great idea.
Since how they're in Philadelphia, but I have to get a new one because the oldest granddaughter is now 6'1".
Oh my goodness.
So nice average height.
Nice. Well, you're fairly tall, so it must come from your side of the family.
Yeah, I'm 5'18", so
I'm 9'2". Yeah. Well, it's good. That's a fun cup. So it's good to know you drink coffee. Nectar.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of nectar of the gods. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And unfortunately, we drink it right through till about 10 o'clock at night. So
yeah, it's the people who I always wondered when people are like, "Oh, I can't drink coffee like after 3 p.m. or whatever it would be," and I was like, "Really? I don't think it affects me."
well, so far it hasn't affected me. So thank you.
Thank you, everything. It's so good. Perfect. Well, as you start to log in, my friends, and join us on this Monday morning for Coffee Club, please say hello in the comments and let us know you're hanging out and having fun with us today. What I'm excited for, whether you may or may not be prepared, but I was feeling a little bit. I shared, Ted, I was a guest on a show for my very first time last week. Now, because normally I am the host, not the guest. So I was a guest on this show, and we got talking about a lot of really raw personal things. And one of the things that I shared is that my Christmas spirit was not as high over the last few years as it used to be. So then I thought, well, who could infuse us with Christmas spirit other than Santa? I was like, who could we get on the show? And poof, you popped into my mind. And I was like, okay, Ted can infuse us with some Christmas spirit, because I feel like even though there's lots of people who love this time of year, or maybe they struggle with this time of year, we could all use a little injection of the things that fire us up about the holiday season. And that's different for everybody, right? There it is. The
Oops.
magic cat.
Where's the button?
Other side. There you go. Other side. It's backwards on the screen, so it's hard to do it. But see, nothing makes you feel more Christmassy than that.
It's a little bad because when it wobbles your head, you feel like one of those bobblehead dolls.
Now, I think in the community where you and I both reside, but since we have people that check in and join us for Coffee Club all around the world, you live in High River, Alberta, which is in southern Alberta. Yep. And you're known really in this community as Mr. Christmas. What does has that always been the case? Have you always been kind of Christmas crazy?
Well, I've always enjoyed Christmas because, first of all, I really love the music for starters, and so if you're riding in my car in July, you're liable to hear Christmas music. So it's good that way. And then it's just, to me, it always seems like such a friendly, happy time of the year, regardless of the circumstances that you're in, that there's some joy to be had in it. And so I guess I've always loved the family time.
Yeah. Well, and you were a photographer for a number of years, so you probably did a lot of like Christmas cards, I bet.
Oh yes, I mean that's why I must say I really enjoyed being in photography because we always met people on 99% of the time happy occasions. The families were together and they were wanting to have a portrait taken somewhere that was special to them, whether it was at home or on the farm or ranch or down by the river or up in the mountains. And so you got to know the people. And really, when we retired from that, that was the part I missed the most was the people that we met and
Yeah.
the places we went. So anyway, I'm
Yeah.
still here.
You're still so from childhood, did you love Christmas? Like, has it always been a time of year that you got kind of excited about, or did that develop more as you got older?
No, it's it's been a long time because uh, I have three brothers, and uh, I was always up earliest. And then when we got married and we had kids, I was still up the earliest. And there was 1 year because we would split. My family was in Lethbridge and Maureen's family was in Edmonton, and so 1 year we'd go to Edmonton, 1 year we'd go to Lethbridge, and 1 year we were in Edmonton, and I was sure I heard somebody up, and we were sleeping downstairs at Maureen's mom and dad's place. So I tiptoed upstairs into the kitchen, looked around. There's nobody around, so went back downstairs. A few minutes later, I'm sure I heard somebody upstairs. So I back upstairs into the kitchen. Nobody's around. Back downstairs. 5 minutes later, there's got to be somebody upstairs. So back upstairs, there's nobody in the kitchen. I thought, oh heck, well I might as well make a coffee. So I'm tiptoeing around in the kitchen trying to get the kettle going, and Maureen's mom comes in and she says, "Has there been somebody up here?" And I said, "Well, I was sure I heard somebody." She said, "Well, I've been hearing people walking around in the kitchen for the last 15 minutes." So anyway, at 6 o'clock in the morning, we both had coffee and clomped around and woke everybody else up. So anyway, sorry.
Good. That's
Now that I'm
awesome.
getting older, I wait until 7.
Wait until 7. I feel like I still get up earlier than my son, so I feel you on that one. I used to get so excited for Christmas as a child that I would start throwing up. Like I would get myself so worked up. My mom would be like, "Oh," like I would be just I remember laying on the couch every Christmas feeling sick, but still trying to eat the Christmas orange from my stocking.
Have that candy out of the stocking.
Yeah, just like the orange was like, "Okay, it's balance. It's breakfast. I got this." But too fun. So you've always loved Christmas. You listen to Christmas music 365, which I always find hilarious. I've been in your van when Christmas has come on in the middle of the summer. And you really decided to take that passion into igniting Christmas spirit in the community, which I think is really cool. So I don't know. I feel like we're into what? Is it year 32 this year?
This is my 31st year for the Santa Claus Parade. It's
Yeah.
the 36th annual Santa Claus Parade, and it was started by John Nyberg originally because his wife's birthday is right around the 1st of December. And he said to her 1 year, "What would you like for Christmas?" And she said, "Well, in the town she grew up in rural Ontario, they always had a Christmas parade." And so John thought, well, what can he do different? So he thought, well, maybe he'll have an evening Christmas parade. And so the first year that it happened, I remember it because there were about 3 entries and it went around town twice, and there was there was no traffic control. It just, people were in between and driving. Anyway, and that's kind of where it started. And it went on and it gradually grew each year. And then after about 5 years, John came to the Chamber of Commerce and said, it's getting more than he can handle, with the chamber taken on. And so I was on the chamber board at that time and said, "Oh, I'll do it for a couple of years." 31 years later, here we are, and so Lynette McCracken was the chamber executive manager at the time, and so between she and I, it gradually evolved into sort of what we're getting now. And so it's really exciting this year to have another parade because with COVID, we didn't have anything. As we had porch parades, which went around different parts of town the last 2 years, but it's not the same as having a parade. So,
No, the big hall with all the people and all
yeah,
the excitement and the lights. And I think that's the cool thing about it being in the evening is that it's really so light driven. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I can answer this for you, but there's really nothing more exciting about Christmas than the lights.
exactly. And with your LED lights, oh man, you can, and the vehicles now with their accessory plugs, you can really light up a vehicle. So that's the only, I guess, sort of rule for the parade. It's free to enter. We just need people to register, and there is still time that you can register and put the holiday lights, Christmas lights on your vehicle. And that's primarily for safety because being an evening parade, uh, the the headlights on just a vehicle are not enough to have it show up well. And and you can hide a lot of sins with a set of Christmas lights. I mean,
You don't even have to wash your car. Yeah, you're
no,
fine.
exactly. Just put a 2x2 teepee in the back of your half ton and put some lights on it, and presto, here.
And done. So what date is the parade this year?
The parade is Friday, December 2nd, and we've got all kinds of things happening. 5 o'clock, we have the Stampede stage is going to be there. And on the Stampede stage, Windmill Theater, and whoever from the community would like to join them will be caroling. And they'll be caroling off and on the stage from 5 o'clock until about 6:30. And then 5:30, just down the street at the barber shop on the corner of 6th Avenue and McLeod Trail, the Lions Club and High Country Chev will have hot dogs and hot chocolate, and that'll start at 5:30. And then 6 o'clock, Mayor Snodgrass is going to turn the switch on the Stampede stage to light up the gates to the park, and hopefully we won't have a National Lampoon Christmas moment.
That's always the moment. I've been a part of that a few times. Yep.
And then at 6:30 itself, the parade goes on, and literally, thanks to the hard work of Kathy Lambert checking with all the folks for hot chocolate and goodies, I don't think you have to go more than about half a block to get hot chocolate around the parade route. So watch out, Mom and Dad. The kids will be on a sugar high.
Yeah, but everyone can be well fueled with cocoa for the season.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
I think it's neat because like the whole community really gets involved with this event.
It's just super. Because again, with safety in mind, we've encouraged folks that instead of distributing candy alongside their entry in the parade, that they all pool their candy. And so Robin McDonald has been just burning the midnight oil collecting candy, and then Kathy Lambert said, "Oh, I can help." So between Kathy and Robin, they've just been going gangbusters, and so folks have been super kind in terms of donating either candy or funds to purchase candy. And so we have candy crews that will be going out prior to the parade, just shortly after 6, and they'll be going around the parade route distributing candy to the kids, just so that we don't have that issue of, candy being distributed along the parade route during the parade. Again, just more for safety. And then along with that, the Service Credit Union and Highwood Lions Club have donated between 1,500 and 2,000 light LED light wands. So they'll be going out along with the candy crew to give those to the kids. So So there's lots of things happening around the parade route.
Yeah, so many things, and Christmas markets and
Oh,
all kinds of fun things. Like it's really like jam-packed full of so many things for people to do. And if you're somebody who likes Hallmark Christmas movies, this is the weekend where High River looks like the towns that are on those movies. Like that's the cool thing about it.
it'd be really neat if we had a Christmas movie filmed here.
I know. I want that also, Ted, where our goals are the same. We're going to work on this for 2023.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to find, is there like one location somewhere where people can look up all of the stuff that's going on?
You can go to highriverchristmas.ca. So it's all one word, highriverchristmas.ca. And it has everything about the parade, about the park lights, the Light Up High River contest, the skating rink in the park. We're still struggling to get water into the skating rink. So fingers crossed in the next few days we'll have water in there, and so it can freeze up. So we'll be able to get skating in the park. And one of the things that I'm just really excited, can you tell?
Yeah, I know. You're my
I'm
favorite.
really excited about the. I've always wanted a live band in the Santa Claus parade, and everybody
Yes, I
keeps,
know
oh,
you
it's
have.
too cold, it's too cold. Well, this year we have the Stampede Roundup Band and the Stetson Show Band coming out for the parade. So we've got something like 260 musicians that'll be playing live in the parade. So I'm just super excited about that.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I know when I saw on your social media that there was two bands coming, I'm like, oh my gosh, Dad's head's going to explode this year. It's going to be amazing.
Just bouncing off the walls.
Bands. Okay, so speaking of the things that make your head explode in a good way, let's talk a little bit about the lights in George Lane Park, because I think that if by chance there was like even the years where the parades had to sort of take a pivot during COVID, the lights in the park are such a, I don't know, they're so special and they're such a joy, and you've created this whole like drive-by experience. So talk a little bit about how this came to be.
Well, I've always wanted to do lights in the park because our daughter and son-in-law and granddaughter live in Philadelphia, and there's been a few years where we've left here on Boxing Day and driven down to Philadelphia. And there was one year we were driving along, and we'd drive 10, 12 hours in a day because we wanted to get to Philadelphia. And we pulled off the freeway somewhere in the Midwestern US. And it was this little town. Literally, you pulled off the freeway and you could see the glow. Most little towns in the US, there's a center square.
Yeah.
And we pulled into this little town, and here's a center square that's smaller than George Lane Park. And literally every tree in that park had lights on it. And I was like, holy mackerel. And so I thought, if they can do that, we can do that. And then after the flood, the park was being all torn up to replace sod and clean it up and everything else. So I thought, hey, here's a good chance we can run underground, power to the trees and put plugs right by the tree trunk. And shows you how little I knew that in a park, power has to be minimum 24 inches underground, and it can't come within 10 or 12 feet of the trunk of a tree. So,
So many
okay,
rules.
that'd be really good. All these little pedestals sticking up, in the park. So that's why we use extension cords. But then, thanks to a grant through the Rotary Club of High River, which went through Rotary District and then Rotary International. Following the flood, they had a fund for community enhancement. And so I thought, hey, maybe this is our chance. So I submitted a proposal to do the lights in the park, and fortunately they agreed that that would be a good thing. And so it's grown since then. And so you can get sponsorships, and those are the signs you see around the park. where initial sponsorship for the sign is $250, and then each year you can renew it for $50. And we use those to buy additional lights. We get donations just for lights. And so again, at highriverchristmas.ca, you can donate either whatever, 5, 10, 100, whatever you would like. And all of that money goes back into additional Christmas displays. And then Foothills Composite High School, their fabrications class has been really great in terms of making something up for us. If we have a design we want, like our hot air balloon, we drew up what we wanted, and then the students in the class made it to scale and then fabricated the steel, and then we wrap it with lights so we can keep adding things. And then if there's something particular, we have 2 different companies that we purchase from primarily, and then we keep adding to the lights. And this
I
year,
feel like it's an experience for all who've had the opportunity to watch you come into a meeting or carrying your catalog of Christmas lights, being like, okay, guys, you have to see what's on this page. And
yeah,
you are so excited about a Christmas lights catalog, like children would be about the wish book back in the day.
exactly.
It's
Back in
so
the day,
adorable.
you get the Eaton's or Sears catalog, and you flip to that toy section. Well, this is the same thing, only it's bigger.
It's all Christmas like. I didn't know there was such a catalog until I met
Oh
you.
yeah, there's 2 or 3 of them available, and so it depends how much money you raise.
So you're always looking for those extra ones so there can be something added. But it's really neat for those who haven't experienced before. We are so blessed in our community to have a downtown park and campground, which is kind
Yes.
of rare anymore to have them within the core of your downtown. So it's kind of cool. And because it has this sort of looped driveway to get into where the camping part is versus baseball diamonds and parks, it becomes this driving experience. And you might have went to, say, Spruce Meadows Festival of Trees and did sort of that drive. Only this one's honestly better. Don't tell Spruce Meadows, but because of the things you've talked about where the communities got involved in the creating of those pieces. So you see
Yeah.
so much character in each of the displays.
And it's so much fun, and as you say, it's nice because you can either walk or drive.
Yeah.
And this year we added enough arches that we've pretty much completed the um, happy trails through the park. Down, we've got arches along the walkway there, and we've got a few more coming, but I don't know if they'll get up for this year, but definitely for next year. And we're already working on next year's.
Of course you are.
And then, of course, with the displays, so you can either drive through the park or you can come down, park in one of the parking lots around the park and just wander around. And then Lori and Mike at the venue, they painted us up a kind of a winter Christmas tree scene where you can stick your face in the hole and do a family picture, a fun picture, whatever,
Yeah.
with the holiday theme, and then just the help and support we get from members of the Rotary Club, the Lions Club, the Kinsman Club, and just the community at large that come down to put up the lights. It's tremendous, and we can't thank Fortis enough for coming to do the tall trees, because there's no way I'm getting up on a 50-foot ladder.
No, no, it's
So,
better
so
to leave it to the professionals. Yeah.
that's right. So Fortis comes and they do all the tall trees for us, and then Herc Rentals, they are kind enough to loan us the use of one of their 40-foot articulated lifts, and so for anything in between around the park, we can get in and use that to hang displays, and then of course Darlene Donovan with the town and her crew, they come out and help with the town bucket truck, and so with all of that and the volunteers, it you know it's just really exciting to be part of it and get it together and everything else. So it's really sorry, like you say, it's a community effort to get it done, but it's sure nice to enjoy.
Exactly. Well, and I think you have a really great volunteer committee that helps put it all in. You sort of become the voice and the spokesperson. And I think because really you're the Christmas spirit fuel behind them, but you do have a really incredible team that's
Oh,
helping to put the whole thing on. And it just again shows this beautiful collaborative spirit. And it's what I think I love the most about it even is from the original story of how it started was it was community people who were like, yeah, we want this in our community and this matters. So instead of waiting or hoping that, say, local government or other pieces would come in and do it, you just as citizens go and do it. And that's the piece that I think is the most inspiring.
it is, and like you say, the committee we've got is extremely tolerant and patient with me, and just do a phenomenal job. And I mean, you can ask somebody to do something, and away they go. You don't have to ask twice, and so it's just tremendous to get that kind of support and in getting something like this involved because it is a long time.
Yeah, it's not like you start planning yesterday. Yeah.
No, no, we start in August for the Santa Claus parade and
Mhm.
the lights in the park. Actually, we start in late January, February, because a lot of the companies we deal with have sales, and
Yeah.
so if we can save 20 or 30%,
You
you
will. Yeah. That's
so
awesome. Well, I thank you for taking some time to share that passion with us today, and hopefully others like me feel a little bit more excited about the Christmas season after having 20 minutes with Ted. That's all it takes, really. 2 minutes with this guy, and you're going to be ready for Christmas. So,
well,
looking forward to an amazing event. And again, check out this website,
yeah,
highriverchristmas.ca, for all the times and the details. And I mean, on there too, you're going to see the people who are supporting it. And when you come into the park and see the businesses and the people who have donated, just keep those businesses in mind when you're doing your holiday shopping because they're giving back to your community.
oh, for sure, and come out and enjoy everything. And I mean, there's so many things happening. I could bend Jody's ear for the next hour. But anyway, but we'll let you get on to something else. So thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing everybody for the 36th annual Santa Claus parade on Friday, December the 2nd. Okay.
Awesome. All
Thanks
right.
again.
Thanks, everybody. Have an
Okay.
amazing rest of your Monday, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday morning.